into this final match. I'm David Madden, founder and executive director of International Academic Competitions. We're going to play this 35 question round in just a second. Remember, the going out amount is 40 points, and there are unlimited eggs. So just bear that in mind, that we'll only call the toss again if 3 seconds elapsed without a buzz for all of you answering correctly, or if somebody gets it. Okay, so we buzzer checked, but let's just go down the list, and if everybody can just tell us your full name, your school, and your state, starting with Sean. Go ahead.
Sean Fire, Innovation Academy, Georgia.
Okay, great. Next up.
Hendrik Feynman, Hazen High School, Washington State.
Okay, next up.
I'm Anu Srinivasan. I'm from Adelaide Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Maryland.
Okay, right. All right.
Nathan Lee, Thomas Jefferson High School in Virginia.
Okay, next up.
Samuel Zahabi, Chattahoochee High School from Georgia.
Okay, and on the end.
Saddam Galur from Archbishop Mini High School, California.
Okay, players, because of the microphone and the echo, going to, as I usually do in this room, read slightly slower than I otherwise might. Please let me know in between toss-ups if you're having trouble hearing me. But otherwise, hopefully everything should be okay. Yell buzz if there's an issue with the buzzer, but it's been behaving itself altogether. All right, players. So that all having been said, without any further ado, let's play. Audience, please just go get up while toss-ups are going on, and ideally not to the end of the round. Okay, players, let's do it. Toss-up one, off we go. One of these phenomena is bounded to the west by a system called the Kuriosho. 5 major ocean gyres. Gyres, yes, 6 points. Wow, right off the bat to Nathan to start us off. Toss-up 2. 2 stars within this constellation, Aspidisca and Avior, form the false cross asterism alongside Kappa and Delta Velorum. This constellation also contains the diamond cross asterism, which is made up of stars like Neoplacidus. This constellation includes the Homunculus and Keyhole nebulas and formed the southern foundation of the former single constellation Argo Navis. For the points, name this constellation, whose star Canopus is the second brightest.
Serious?
No, thank you. Whose star Canopus is the second brightest in the night sky, and whose name is Latin for the keel of a ship. Time, this is Carina. Toss up 3. Wouter Ritz proposed a combination principle partly named for this person, who also names a unit of energy equal to about 13.6
Heart rate.
Not like 13.6 electron volts. This person names a formula which Rydberg for 6 points. Sammy. Toss up 4. A cell involved in this process expresses cat-spurred calcium channels.
Spermatogenesis.
No, make 2.
Fertilization.
Fertilization for 6. Yeah, over to Nathan again. Okay, toss up 5. In the second book of their most famous work, this person explained that the light reflected from an object is modified by its color. In that same work, this person built on Ptolemy's work concerning binocular vision to coin the term horopter. This person lends his name to a problem which concerns reflection in a spherical mirror. For the points, name this Fermat. Noting 2, name this Islamic mathematician whose book of optics described the camera obscura and made him known as the field's father. I'm just calling it. This is Ibn al-Haytham. Toss 6. This scientist names a theorem that can be derived using Morse theorem and that relates the bending moments at 3 adjacent supports on a horizontal beam. This scientist first stated a combination of several equations, including Gay-Lussac's law, as the idea.
Maxwell?
Not the 2. As Clapeyron, yes, is good for 5 points this time to Ani. Toss up 7. These structures are connected to each other via pores of cone, and they are connected to larger vessels via the canals of Lambert. These structures, alveoli, points to Sammy. The reagent used in this test is also used in the Fontana-Mason stain to visualize melanin on histology slides. This test is generally applied after Brady's test is used to identify a functional group with a characteristic stretching. Toland's test for 6 points down to Sudanta. Toss 9. In higher dimensions, this model shows phase transitions between ordered and disordered phases as demonstrated by the Hierarch's argument. This model, which is generalized by the Ashkin-Teller model, can be particle models. Ashkin-Teller model can be understood as an instance of Stanley's n-vector model when n is 1. By working with transfer matrices, Lars Onsiger Ising model is correct. 5 points back. Padre. Toss 10. Then we'll verify. An increase in either this quantity or age shifts a stellar isochrone to the right. Walter Vada used this quantity to classify stars into population 1 and 2. Metallicity for 6 points. Okay, that's 2 questions. Let's check the scores. We've got Anya at 3, Patrick at 3, Sean at -6, Scarlett at 4, Sammy at 12, and Nathan out of the lead at 18. Check. Okay. All right, moving along, top 11. What member of this genus causes Pott's disease, which can lead to necrosis of spinal disc? The rapid identification of members of this genus can be performed using an interferon gamma release assay or by staining with an acid-fast mycobacteria. Good for 5 points. Down to Sean. Plus 12. Heterocyclic compounds can be created using a form of this reaction. Diels-Alder for sunscreen. Right. Tie for this. Okay. 13. This phenomenon could be described by models that consider changes in the thickness of the crust or changes in rock density, which are the Airy-Heiskanen and Pratt-Hayford models. Clarence Dutton coined the term for this phenomenon, which was used to explain how different parts of the Earth have different heights and is responsible for post-glacial rebound, not applying to regions like the Himalayas. For the points named as gravitational equilibrium between the crust and these. If isostasis. Say it again. Isostasis? Yes, that is correct. For 4 points to Sean. Okay, puzzle 14. This process may have occurred during or after the reheating event, according to the Affleck-Dine mechanism. Electroweak symmetry breaking and Spelman transitions may have contributed to this process, which requires thermodynamic non-equilibrium and C and CP violation to occur, according to 2 of the Sakharov conditions. For the points, name is hypothesized. Time? Cold nuclear fusion? Name this hypothesized process that preceded nucleosynthesis, which attempts to explain an asymmetry in which matter, rather than antimatter, is more prevalent in the universe.
Mass defect?
Nick Mark. Time. This is baryogenesis or baryosynthesis. Okay, toss 15. Wait, sorry.
I should have this.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's.
Yeah. What time?
Sean's long correct and then Nathan's check.
Number 5. Nathan, I don't.
Yeah, Nathan should have 8. Nathan should have 8. Yeah. Nathan should have 8. Yeah, Nathan should have 8. So it's no matter if it's for the cash, that's my theory.
Okay, welcome. Yes. Okay. All right, here's toss 15. Advection equals some of these things called Polish donuts. Fluid instability is caused by a decrease in angular velocity in a magnetic field. It means donuts. Nothing two. Leads to these objects becoming turbulent in the Velikov Chandrasekhar or magnetorotational instability. Shakura and Sonyev modeled these objects whose spinning gives rise to the astrophysical jets emitted from
Neutron stars?
nothing two emitted from active galactic nuclei. Further points, namely circular structures made up of debris that
Accretionists?
that is correct for 4. To Nathan. Okay, talking 16. Gradient of these molecules is responsible for most tropisms in the Kolodny-Vendt model. The anionic form of this class of molecules can be transported across membranes.
Oxons?
Oxons for 6. 17. In 1924, this scientist first conjectured the existence of tetraoxygen to explain why liquid oxygen violates Curie's law. The article, The Atom and the Molecule, describes a theory developed. Lewis is correct for 6 points to cover. Puzzle 18. The Ackermann function does not possess the primitive form of this concept, even though
Recursion?
6 points. Tied at 22. Puzzle 19. One of these landforms containing the city of Almere is surrounded by a ring of bordering lakes that prevent groundwater in neighboring lands from seeping away. These regions, the Nordost example of which is used for agriculture, are often formed in former marshes converted via pumping stations. To maintain the habitability of these low-lying artificial creations, dikes are used to prevent flooding. Further points name these flat regions of reclaimed land exemplified
Boulders?
Polders for 4 points down to Suganda. It's the geographic. So the distribution toss a point and then we'll verify again. This scientist proposed studying the hegemonic Zermelo-Frankel framework in an essay that criticizes Derrida and other postmodernists in a book co-written by Jean Bricmont called Fashionable Nonsense. This physicist discusses his 1996 submission of an article titled Transgressing the Boundaries Towards a Transformative Hermeneutics of Quantum Gravity, which was not subject to peer review. Further point, what NYU physicist created a scandal when he published a fake article in the journal Social Text prompting questions about intellectual rigor.
Louisville?
No, it wasn't. Times Alan Sokol. Okay. All right, so Ani 7, Patrick 8, Sean 1, Strongfit 8, Sammy 21, and Nathan 22. Check. Okay. Toss up 21. This scientist created the concept of a current algebra and proposed the idea of strangeness to explain kaon and hyperon decay, a set of independent 3x3 matrices. Not like 3x3 matrices spanning the Lie algebra are named for this.
Dirac?
No, like 2 are named for this. Hilbert? Neg2 are named for the scientist, and those matrices generalize Pauli matrices to SU3 groups. In 1961, Yuval Noah and this scientist proposed an 8-fold way.
Jumbo.
Yes, that is correct. That 4 is Padre. Okay. All right, toss up 22. Limits of these things are the subject of Dub's convergence theorems, which can be shown with a crossing inequality and a gambling argument. When these processes have bounded differences, they satisfy the Azuma-Hofding inequality, and stop Brownian motion is
Like a random walk?
no, two is an example of these
Stochastic fast.
Thing two is an example of these processes, originally referring to a strategy in which a gambler repeatedly doubled.
Morning count?
That is good for 5. Okay, toss of 23. Prior to this 1927 experiment, one of its namesakes worked on similar experiments with Charles H. Kunzman. This experiment, conducted at Western Electric, involved firing a beam of slow-moving electrons at a nickel crystal. That is good for 5 points to Padre. On to 24. The Lao, that's LAU event, and the Wolda event were two of three minor extinctions that occurred during this period. Vascular plains emerged during a revolution named for this and a later period, the third and shortest period of the Paleozoic era. This period saw the diversification of jawed fish as well as the terrestrialization of three different groups of arthropods. For the points, name this geologic period of Earth's geological history which preceded the Devonian.
Silurian?
Good for 3. Down to Sean. 25. This institution is home to the world's most powerful internal confinement fusion device, which is found at its
ITER?
no, which is found at its National Ignition Facility. This institution researches plutonium properties from a complex called the superblock. This institution created this institution created the warheads for the Polaris missile, and the element with atomic number 116 is named for this name.
Lawrence Livermore National.
That is good for 5 to cost of 26. This species has two subspecies, one native to the continental mainland and the other native to Principe, and it is distinguished by red tail feathers, contrasting with otherwise largely monotypic plumage. A specimen of this species known as griffin is a research subject of MIT biologist Irene Pepperberg, who named a different former research subject of this species after an acronym for Avian Learning Experiment, or ALEX. Adults of this species are thought to have the intelligence equivalent of a 4 to 6 year old human child, and it ranges from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana. For the points, name this species of parrot.
Gray parrot?
Gray parrot for 4 points. Deshaun, you need your ornithology list in there somewhere. 27. This person names a type of condition allowing a partial differential equation to have a solution on the boundary. Negative. With Edouard Goursat, this person names a theorem stating a value of 0 for the contour integral of a holomorphic function on a simply connected domain. This mathematician founded the field of complex analysis and formalized the concept of a limit. For the points, he this Frenchman who, with Hermann Schwarz, Cauchy, good for 4 to Padre. 28. This adjective names a cooling technique in which liquid helium removes heat from a magnetocaloric magnetocaloric substance in a magnetic field. An index described by this is good for 6. That's awesome. On 29. 7 to play. Toss up. Rust is used to develop a backend for these programs called crane lift. These programs can carry out a process following the switch to static single assignment form in which static values are computed during sparse conditional constant propagation. These programs are typically designed with the middle end, which applies optimizations like dead code elimination, while the front end does type checking, lexing, and parsing. For the points named these programs, which translate high-level programs, so for 4, back to Nathan. Awesome. 30, then we'll verify. The length of one of these constructs is related to the lengths of all the sides of the shape in Apollonius's theorem, which is an instance of Stewart's theorem. In a triangle, median for 6, and he got to Sammy, back and forth they go. Remember, 40 is the magic number. Currently, 5 to play. Ani at 8, Padre at 19, Sean at 2, Scott at 6, Sammy 31, Nathan 27. Check. All right. Focus players. Toss at 31. Receptors for acetylcholine and this molecule are antagonized by the neurotoxin strychnine, though it and proline are rarely found in alpha. Glycine is 32. In oxides, this quantity is found to be dependent on its value at absolute 0 and an exponential term per Flachman's formula. In the linear elastic region, this quantity can be computed as tensile stress divided by axial strain. For homogeneous isotropic objects, this quantity can be Young's modulus. Young's modulus for 5. Actually, just 1 away. 33, 3 to go. And getting code from this language in another program is made possible via the call level interface, and precompiling code from this language is done via parametrized statements. This language's syntax allows programmers to use group by and order by clauses, while the from clause specifies the table from which data will be inspected. This language was developed by Donald Chamberlain and Raymond Boyce and contains keywords like select, SQL for 4, Nathan with 2 to go, plus 34. Data from the citizen science app Snail Snap has shown that this effect has likely caused snail shells to evolve to be more yellow. Efforts to mitigate this phenomenon include ground-based albedo modifications,
Urban Heat Island.
Urban Heat Island 4, 5 to Padre, hit the last toss-up with 35. Deep breath, players. Good luck. Here it is. The Bartonian stage of this epoch was when a middle climatic optimum occurred.
Pleistocene.
No, Nick 2. During this epoch, greenhouse Earth may have been
Holocene.
no, Nick 2 may have been reversed by the Azola event, during which ferns may have formed blooms in the Arctic Ocean. The Popagai impact structure might be linked to the grand Kokura extinction that occurred between this epoch and the Oligocene. For the point, name the second epoch of the Paleogene period, whose name references the new dawn of many animals. Time, it's the Eocene. What a that? Right, Rebel Weekend, congratulations. All right. Wow. Great match, players. There are no ties. Take a deep breath. Just grab a seat, and I'll call you up in order for your awards. Okay. All right. What a match. In 6th place today, we have Sean. Congratulations. Coming up. Okay, in 5th place, we have Ani. Congratulations. In, let's see, we're up to 4th place, we have Sandra. Great job. Okay, please, another outstanding performance, Padre Fighting. Okay, job. In 2nd place, we're just down the road, TJ, here to Nathan. And 2nd place the last 2 years? Yes? Yes, and finally got the job done this year. You'll be a national champ for the rest of your life. Congratulations. All right, great job. You guys. Okay, players.